If you want to be a closer in heating and air conditioning sales or as an HVAC technician, what are 7 ways for you to be a closer? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverman coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so you're in heating and air sales or you're in the trades and you want to do sales and you want to be better at what you do. These are seven solid ways for you to close more deals. And the first one is all about timing. It's about slowing down. Most sales presentations are about 25% too fast. Now, for some salespeople, they're 25% too slow, but most sales presentations, people get too excited and they don't give enough information and they end up asking for the business prematurely, which leads to concerns, aka objections. Number 2, talk to people like they're freaking humans. One of the things that happens is when you learn sales scripts, word tracks, is you memorize them and then you distill them or state them as you memorize them. So it's not uncommon for brand new salespeople to memorize a sales script and get in this process of talking in script form in the sales process, but talking like a normal human being or rapport, right? So we meet, we have a conversation, we talk about spaghetti, we talk about cats, we talk about Hawaii, and then all of a sudden I go into sales mode and I'm not the same dude. I'm somebody completely different because when I practiced my sales scripts, I didn't practice them as I would say them conversationally. And this is super confusing for brand new salespeople because what they'll do is they'll ride with the closer and they'll look at the closer and go, I'm saying the same exact thing. Like you are saying the same words. You're not saying them the same way. You're not having a conversation. You're talking at people. You're rattling off information like you're reading the back of a sports card. Okay. Number 3, you got to do all the work up front. You got to do all the work up front, which means you have to have a sales process. You're probably going to have like 7 or 9 steps depending upon who's trained you, right? You're going to have your mindset. Me personally, I put identity before mindset. So you're going to have your identity, your mindset, your introduction, your discovery, your rapport, your presentation, your closing, and then your paperwork. Right, you have to have a same consistent presentation to give every single time, or what's going to happen is you don't have anything to judge that presentation. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, hvactechsecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. You will freaking love it. I promise you, right? And occasionally I try to sell you stuff. Number 3 and 4 of having a solid presentation and do all the work up front, you have to like really ask all the questions that you need to. A lot of times when salespeople struggle is they don't have anything to follow back on. They didn't ask all and do all the work up front. They didn't give a presentation, so they get to the end. The only thing they got is a discount. Right? They live on discounts, and so they end up with skinny checks. They end up with a bunch of minis. They end up with not having a bunch of gross when it comes to the way that they do their deals. Number 5, timing. There is a timing mechanism to any good conversation. How you interact, how the person interacts back and forth. I used to do copywriting. I used to write ads. And David Garfinkel was my first copywriting coach. And he said, Scott, what I want you to do is I want you to go to a coffee shop and I want you to listen to how people talk and type out their dialogue. And then he said, I want you to read a book called Save the Cat. It's right about writing screenplays and how people interact. So what happens is when you're super tired, when you're super hungry, when you're frustrated, when you're excited, your timing goes out the window. When you're brand new at sales, that timing isn't there because you're trying to remember your script. You're trying to remember your word tracks. And so getting used to just having tough conversations is a way for you to get your timing down, or even good conversations. So number 6, take your time in a presentation. You have all the time in the world. One of my coaches and mentor, Jay Abraham, when he does deals, he takes as long as it takes to explain a deal. It's one of the things that I really admire about him. He just, here's how it works, here's what's going to go on. And even when people interrupt him, he goes, hey, I just got a little bit more to go over with you. And then number 7, don't fall for common games. Okay. And you may not know that the game may be out of nervous energy or it may be out of realness that the person wants to play games. Whenever I went to a call and the person would meet me at the front door and close the door behind them, I was there to confirm a buying decision they've already made. Anytime that somebody would grab my presentation and start to pull it off the table and go, is this for me, before I could ask for the business. That's a common game. Sometimes people will stand up, right? The one thing that you've got to learn how to do is to do work that's somewhat antisocial. One of the things that nobody teaches you about sales is the sales process of closing can be antisocial, and it could be uncomfortable. If you're used to the cue of somebody standing up and you're like, oh, well, okay, now it's time to go, you start packing your stuff. Like, that's something for you to say, wait a minute, this is a common game. This is a common problem. This is a common issue that I need to learn how to work through. Sometimes people, before you roll price, will end the call by going, hey, can you just email that to me? Like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, we went through all this process. The company spent a bunch of time and resources to get me out here. I've only got like 5 more minutes. The right thing to do is to finish on this presentation and let me share with you how I got to the numbers and what's going on. Sometimes it's a case of emergency, but a lot of times when somebody ends that call early, what they're trying to do is to not allow you to close. So if you want to be a closer in heating and air sales, there's 7 ways. Slow down, talk to people like they're humans, do all the work up front, ask the questions, do the research, have a solid presentation, get used to the timing, take your time, and then don't fall for common games. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3, find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.